Planet K Records. Hi everyone, welcome here tonight. We're here with Cyclops Cataract. We're here to talk about the last album, the Bestiary, that came out with via Planet K Records last week on the 5th of June. Hi guys, welcome here.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, good thanks. Good thanks.
Yeah, so let's go straight with the first question. So, can you just tell us something more about the band history? How you guys met? Yeah, basically, like, who are you?
Yeah, we've played together in bands. Well, a previous band called Element 106, and sort of four of us guys decided to after that band sort of split up. We decided to get back together, but also include Craig, who we asked if he could do some vocals, and he said yes, which was great. And so then we decided to record because the pandemic hit, and it just gave us a lot of time to write songs and create some new music. However, we've done it all completely separately. So, but yeah, we've known each other for quite a long time, and it's only the last year though since we've kind of, I feel that we've really started to take the music seriously and give it a proper shot. So the pandemic was a blessing in a way regarding that. So yeah.
Well, that's good to hear, because I mean, it was a kind of difficult time for almost everyone, but the fact that something good came out of it, that's really, like, yeah, that's really good. So about your history, like your background, so you all come from different other projects. Do you still have other projects, or is that your main one right now?
Well, I guess for me, well, I've got another project called Wound that originally started as more of like a power violence sort of project, and it's sort of morphed into more like old school style death metal. Obviously, with the pandemic, it's been really, it's been really difficult for us to get together. So I guess for me, Cyclops sort of became sort of my main project. So as also, we've been able to write and record separately, but not been able to do that with Wound.
James.
Yeah, I've been in millions of bands throughout the years, and I'm just now playing another band called Ray Brower, which is kind of a hardcore new metal band. Playing guitar for them. We played at Hellfest a few years back, but since, like Craig's saying, like since the pandemic's kicked in, we've just been on standby, waiting for things to open up a wee bit. Done some recording, much like with Cyclops, but we've not found our feet just as much. This has been a lot more productive during this downtime. I'm in another couple of bands, Blazing Grass, more sort of stoner metal band, and Kiartis, which is a thrash band, do vocals and guitar for that as well. So when everything opens up, I'm going to be too busy, so I'll have to work out something to do, how to coordinate it.
All right, what about you, Scott?
It's my main band, my only band. Going back, I used to be in a grindcore band called Spike Pile Driver. Yeah, they were all about the sort of like Napalm Death sort of esque music, and I did that for a couple of years. I was in, as I said, Element 106. We were sort of like death metal, a little bit of black metal, but probably a little bit more conventional compared to Cyclops Cataract. So Yeah, that just a couple of bands really, but yeah, Cyclops Cataract's my main and only band at the moment. So.
All right. So talking about your influences, how much of your like past stuff, present stuff, current other bands, and current influences are into the Bestiary? Like, what are the main influences actually?
For me, like, well, Scott kind of runs the show a lot of the time with the construction of the songs. It's very strapping young lad vibes as far as I hear them. The stuff that I contribute, I try and bring in a wee bit more of a sort of old school, Cannibal Corpse-esque death metal feel with some of the riffs. All the harmonies are just horrible, jarring minor thirds. Yeah, for this sort of stuff, that's the mainstay from my perspective. Main thing I try and do is keep all my bands separate, because I've got so many different projects on the go. I'm trying to isolate it so that none of them have a riff where I try and question where it goes. So it's a good thing that, this is so eclectic, everything that Scott's been doing, it leaves me with very little to choose from what any of the other bands do. I'm kind of left with a gap of, here's a ridiculous black metal or death metal section, to put your spin on it.
Yeah, I guess like vocally, like I try, because there's so much going on in the songs, I try and keep the vocals as interesting as possible. Like I won't try like stick to maybe just one range and go with that. Like do a bunch of lows, but also do a bunch of highs. Maybe I'll do some mids, more shouty stuff. Just try and mix it up and keep it interesting. I mean, like bands like Anno Nathrak and Cattle Decapitation are a big influence for me on that, because like if you listen to I think it's Monolith of Inhumanity by Cattle Decapitation, like in songs that the vocalist will 1 minute just going super low, and then next thing the highest sounding shriek you could ever hear. So that sort of I guess that's been my biggest influence, particularly with this record.
And I'm basically have always been a huge fan of a huge sound, whether it's anything as mild as Enya or classical music, film scores. There's a guy called Carter Burwell who he does a lot of this like sound film scores for like movies like The Man Who Wasn't There. Just really, really epic. And I know I read a recent review for our album, and it said it's got very sort of like Alfred Hitchcock kind of theme going on. And I wanted it to try and I've added a whole load of keyboards, samples, to really turn it away from conventional death metal, black metal, and just so it sounds as epic as possible, but also not sticking to conventional song structures. As James said, I like Strapping and Lad. They're a great band. We're a great band. And Devin Townsend, who's pretty much, in my eyes, the king of the huge over the top sound. So I can understand maybe if maybe some people don't get what we're trying to achieve, and that's okay. But I just wanted to try and keep it really like a full story, like from beginning to end, just in your face, epic. And also, I think we've all incorporated sounds and bands that we like, whether it's as Cannibal Corpse, death metal, Slayer, thrash, just we all love music, and I think we've all just thrown in our spin on that. So yeah.
Cool. So if you had to describe the sound of the album like in really simple words, how would you do it? Like keeping it super simple.
Angry and eclectic.
Cool.
It sounds like Frank Zappa on fire. It's just ridiculous. Yeah.
I couldn't have put it better myself, to be honest.
Weird and epic. That's my 2 words.
I like it. Cool. So is there any favorite song, like any song of the album that you actually prefer among the others?
I guess.
On you go, Craig. Sorry.
But I guess for me, the one song on the album that sort of sticks to me is "The Devil of the Sea," because well, like when we were writing it, one of the things that at least I struggled with vocally was what to do with like the chorus section that we've got, because it was much probably one of the more, well, sort of basically what I was trying, just when recording just was not working at all, but then when we eventually got it nailed down, because I'd struggled so much with it, and after hearing the end product and being, really, really, really happy with it, I guess it's just stuck with me. And it's got some awesome riffs. There's a section in there that just reminds me of Between the Buried and Me, which is another one of my favorite bands. I guess that's why that one sticks out for me.
For me, it would probably be the Unforgiven Dead. It's one of the only songs that doesn't stop. It just goes intense from start to finish. As soon as it comes in, there's a bit of a snare roll straight into a blast with a really slow riff over the top of it. And that's probably the most calm part of that whole song. The rest of it is just relentless the whole way through. And it's probably got my favorite solo that I did on it as well. So that's a factor as well.
I think the Unforgiven Dead, it was actually quite a difficult song to play because the blast beat is so fast, but the intro riff is so slow. It's very hard to keep in. I found it hard to keep in time with, but but regarding favorite song, I'll go with "Devil of the Sea" as well, because I do, as much as we make pretty brutal, like death metal and all this good stuff. I wanted it to have a chorus that would be quite catchy, but not sort of cheesy or soft. And I actually wrote that chorus I'm quite old, so I've got a riff collection from way, way back. But I wrote that chorus probably at least 15 years ago. And originally it didn't really sound all that great, but then I changed the tempo of it, and it just suddenly clicked. And then I know Craig was saying, vocally it took a lot of work. It's a song I'm proud of. It's got like about 80 or 90 layers to it, when recording it, all the different things going on. So it's a very dense song. And I spent probably 2 months working on it. So it's probably the song that spent the most time, just really trying to make it as huge and just as well made as I possibly could. So.
Cool. That's good. Is there a concept behind the whole album, or?
So for the album, at least, from a lyrical point of view, when Scott started churning out songs, I decided that I'd base it on some like Scottish mythology, and it worked quite well, and it was quite interesting doing the research for it. So then, when we got more tracks done, I just thought, I'm going to try and stick to this, as much as we can. So each song is basically a retelling of these of Scottish myths, about like different creatures and that. Most quite a chunk of them is more like based on like northern mythology. There's a couple more from like the Scottish South as well. And yeah, it was interesting, but very challenging at the same time. Trying to as well as doing the research, also being able to put it in a way that also fits in with the songs too. But yeah, I might go for if the next album is a concept album, I'll probably go for something that's a little bit simpler.
That was my next question. I mean, I wanted to ask you if you would like just keep this concept in the future as well, or change it completely and do something different.
I mean, the first EP we did before this, it was there wasn't really a strict concept in place. But I mean, I quite like having sort of a general theme to work with. So, but we'll probably, I guess from my point of view, probably do something a little different with each release. But we'll just see. Maybe I'll come across some more stuff that I didn't cover on the Bestiary, and it'll come back. Yeah.
Are you already planning something for the future, or like maybe a next release or something? Or is it too early for that already?
Scott never sleeps.
No,
it doesn't stop.
I just write music all the time, and some of it sticks, some of it doesn't. And at the moment, because we've spent so much time and effort on this album, I do feel a bit burnt out. But I'm still obviously really. I just, really love making crazy music, and so what I've been doing is just recording riff ideas, and I'm not going to be recording songs probably for another few months, but sometimes I was writing songs quicker than the guys could keep up with. With home life and other commitments, work, etc. But I really, as I said earlier, I was probably quite lucky in the fact that I've I'm an older guy, so I've been playing guitar for a long time, and I've got this whole bank of riffs and ideas, and I think I've used an absolute gamut of what I've got available. So it's been hard work, but yeah, I'm not going to stop. But I'm not going to record songs anytime soon. But yeah, just getting ideas. But even the concept, is such a huge thing, and that was a wormhole in itself. Looking at the different Scottish myths that there is, and then Craig was telling me about it, and I was looking into it myself, and that was a wormhole in itself, because you're so time consuming. But we wanted to get it right, and that's why I think, at least, although the songs may not be very conventional, I think that the whole story of, like, each song's like a different story. I like that, and I think Craig did a great job with the lyrics. So.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the artwork and the cover of the album. That we have an image here. So what is it?
Yeah, I was looking at various. Well, I'm a photographer, so the visual side of things is really important, and at the same time, although I can take a photograph, I'm not arty, as in drawing, etc. That's not my media. or my area of expertise whatsoever. So I was looking just on DeviantArt, the website, and just getting ideas and typing in keywords. And when Craig was talking about Scottish mythology, and eventually there was an artist called Waking Sky Tree, who I contacted because I just loved it just encapsulated everything that that was the music. It was like almost like a visual version of the music, in the fact that it was very grandiose, but also it has like the single figure with the deer head, which again in Scotland we've got lots of deer. So it although it wasn't a painting that was strictly about Scottish mythology, I thought it suited the songs and the what it was about just absolutely perfectly. So I contacted the artist, and they said, yeah, you know what, feel free to use any of my work, which was an absolute, I was astonished. And I explained what it was for, and I was expecting, barriers, but no, just really happy that we're using the artwork. So I'll be definitely sending a bottle of wine and a copy of the album to the artist. So,
is the artist also from Scotland, or?
No. This is a funny thing. I don't actually know where the artist is from, but I suppose it's or if it's a guy or a lady, I actually don't know. But I just asked for permission and was given the green light regarding all use of all the artist's artwork. And when I started looking at the other stuff as well that we've used, for like the inside of the CD, inlay, etc., it just all seemed to fit in place. And I was visually, it's just beautiful, and also quite desolate, and there's a lot of like lonely images, and quite it just, again, but with the antlers, and just perfect. Very lucky find.
It really fits. Good. That's cool. So well, since we talk for a while right now, I was just thinking that maybe we could play the video. That's the video of the Devil of the Sea, actually the song that you were talking about before. So if it's fine for you, we're gonna play it now, and then we're gonna just talk about it a little bit, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
As to
All right. So there's really a lot going on in both the song and the video. Do you want to talk about the video? Like who made it, maybe?
Yeah, I made the video, and it was, yeah, I wanted it to represent the song in, well, the way that it's sort of a messed up song, I suppose. No real pretty way of saying it, but as you can hear, it's got like quite a quiet section at the end, almost dreamy. So, I mean, it's all made from like stock footage, but what I've done is I've added, using video software, I've like added, a very sort of worn kind of look, like almost retro or old film, I suppose, 1920s, 30s film style, and just was on the search for the most evil footage that I could use. I just had a whole load of things that added it together, and at the same time, it's still trying to keep with what's going on with the lyrics. At the beginning, it shows like a waterfall, and that was in Skye, which is an island in Scotland. So it's all very in keeping with the whole story of the song. Yeah.
Are you planning to release any other singles, like videos, or that's gonna be the only one for the album?
We've got one other song, which we've got a lyric video for that should be hopefully coming out soon, and it's a fast one. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's cute. We like fast stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right. I just have a couple of more questions for you. So talking about the live situation, are you gonna maybe play live soon, anytime soon? Or are you planning to play somewhere?
Yeah, it would definitely be good to be able to play live. I guess what doesn't help is obviously the pandemic, and what the situation for gigs is. It is quite uncertain. But and I guess well, I'm sure Scott and James will go into the complexities of the songs as well. But it could be a bit of a challenge, but.
Yeah, there's 5 members of the band and there's 90 layers on some of the songs. So, we'd have to adapt them to make it work. But that's half the excitement for me, is finding your recorded version and your live, really raw take on the songs. As long as it showcases and maintains a feel, then I'm all for it. I love playing live. I prefer playing live to recording, I think. So I'm excited about that aspect.
I'd love for us to play live. It's kind of a bit strange having released an EP and then an album and never played live. But I mean, we have played live, and 4 of us have in our previous band, Element 106. But looking at sort of other bands who have, a relatively large sound, whether it's Wilderun or like Devin Townsend, etc. I think a lot of them they use backing tracks, and I think we've probably got no option but to add something like that, because we don't have a sort of like a keyboard member in the band, so unless one of us can set off samples, etc., throughout the song. But it's the music's so dense. Perhaps we could do it by click track, but certainly the very last gig that I saw before the pandemic was Devin Townsend, and he actually played the whole thing live. But of course, he had about 10 members on stage, so we've only got 5, so we can work it out. I'm sure with technology we can work it out, but yeah, I like a challenge.
It's all part of the fun.
Oh yeah.
Of course. All right, guys. So, is there anything else you want to say to the people that are listening to us tonight? Apart from the obvious, buy the album that can be found on Planet K Records Bandcamp page. Is there any other
Everyone's listened to it
message?
so far, and just keep listening to it. Keep buy it if you can, and stay tuned for when we eventually do the next record as well. That's all I can really think of.
I just love constructive criticism. Any feedback, whether it's positive or negative, I love to hear it. So if people that are seeing this have heard anything, I'd like to know what they think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm with James on that. I'd really, obviously it'd be great if people buy the album. That's great and really appreciated. But even just getting feedback, it helps us grow. It helps us between our EP and the album. Although it was a short space of time, it's really helped us. I thought improve as a band, listening to things that perhaps we didn't really nail first time round. So hopefully we can just get better as a band. But it's just awesome that for anyone to listen to our music, it's really appreciated, and we've tried to put in as much work as we could into this one. We really have put in the hours, and hopefully it sounds okay.
Well, you can have my feedback like straight away. I really like your stuff. It's something that I would normally listen to. So even if I wasn't like here interviewing you, I would probably listen by the album. So well done. Keep up with the good stuff. Right, before I leave you, there's one more question that I want to ask, and that's like my pure curiosity. I keep hearing like seagulls in the background. I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, I live next to a harbour, so
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I really miss seagulls because I was born by the sea, and now I live in Berlin. That's like the opposite of everything that's nice. So I really miss seagulls. That was really nice. Thank you. I missed that. It was super nice to hear that.
Especially for you. So you're welcome.
It wasn't part of the song.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, really, talking with you. And again, I just want to remind everyone that the album is available in both digital download and jewel case CD. So, and it can be ordered directly from the Bandcamp of Planet K Records. So just go and buy it. And that's it. So thank you very much. I hope to see you maybe live at some point somewhere. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Claire.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.